The moment the first teaser image surfaced, it felt like a voltage surge across global fashion timelines. JungKook wasn't just modeling. He wasn't just standing under studio lights wearing carefully styled pieces. He was channeling something electric, something nostalgic, something unapologetically bold. JungKook was serving classic rock energy, and it was all about the graphic bomber jacket and straight-leg 90s jeans under the unmistakable banner of Calvin Klein. From the very first frame, the attitude was undeniable. The bomber jacket, cut sharp, structured at the shoulders, slightly relaxed at the waist, carried that rebellious undertone reminiscent of backstage corridors and underground music clubs. The graphic detailing wasn't loud in a chaotic way, it was deliberate. It whispered edge rather than screamed for attention. Paired with straight-cut denim that paid homage to the golden era of 90s street style, the look felt like a cultural reset. Calvin Klein has always mastered minimalism, but this time the brand fused restraint with rock nostalgia. And JungKook stood at the center of that fusion like he was born for it. The straight-leg jeans were particularly striking. In a fashion era dominated by extremes, oversized silhouettes on one side, ultra-skinny fits on the other, this return to classic proportion felt intentional. The denim fell cleanly from hip to ankle, creating a silhouette that emphasized natural movement. When JungKook walked across the set, the fabric moved with subtle weight, not exaggerated sway. It felt grounded, authentic. But it was the energy that transformed the outfit into something legendary. Observers on set described how JungKook didn't approach the shoot like a static model. He stepped into the character of a 90s rock frontman preparing to take the stage. His posture shifted, shoulders relaxed but powerful, chin slightly tilted downward before lifting with that signature intense gaze. The bomber jacket caught light differently with every turn, its graphic accents flashing briefly like a visual guitar riff. Classic rock energy isn't about noise, it's about presence. And JungKook radiated presence. There was a moment during the shoot when the music in the studio shifted to vintage rock instrumentals to help capture the mood. The transformation was immediate. His movements became looser yet more deliberate. He ran a hand through his hair between takes, leaned casually against the backdrop wall, then pushed off with quiet force as if stepping into a spotlight only he could see. The Calvin Klein creative team reportedly wanted this campaign to feel less polished and more lived in. They didn't want perfection, they wanted grit softened by refinement. JungKook delivered exactly that balance. The bomber jacket became symbolic. In the 90s, bomber jackets were statements worn by artists, rebels, cultural disruptors. Reintroducing it through JungKook felt like reclaiming that rebellious spirit for a new generation. The graphics subtly referenced vintage aesthetics without feeling costume-like. It was modern reinterpretation, not imitation. Paired with the straight 90s jeans, the look achieved harmony. The jeans grounded the outfit, preventing the bomber from overpowering the silhouette. The denim wash, slightly faded, naturally textured, added dimension under the studio lights. No heavy distressing, no exaggerated embellishments, just timeless structure. What truly elevated the campaign was how JungKook embodied rock energy without caricature. There were no forced smirks or exaggerated poses. Instead, there was controlled intensity, a quiet confidence that felt far more powerful than overt theatrics. He didn't need to pretend to hold a guitar, he didn't need stage props. The attitude was already there. As the cameras clicked, he shifted between stillness and motion seamlessly. One frame captured him leaning slightly forward, bomber unzipped just enough to reveal layered simplicity beneath. The next showed him mid-step, denim catching movement like a rhythmic beat. Each shot felt like a frozen lyric from a song that hadn't even been written yet. Social media erupted within minutes of the campaign launch. Fans dissected every detail, the stitching on the jacket, the cut of the jeans, the subtle tension in his jawline. "This is rockstar JungKook," one comment read. "This is 90s revival done right," said another. Fashion critics praised Calvin Klein's strategic brilliance. By tapping into 90s nostalgia and pairing it with one of the most globally influential artists of this generation, the brand didn't just create a campaign, they created a moment. The conversation quickly expanded beyond style. It became about evolution. JungKook's artistic journey has always included elements of versatility. From pop precision to R&B smoothness, from high-energy choreography to stripped-down vocal performances, he has never confined himself to one lane. This Calvin Klein campaign felt like an extension of that adaptability. Rock energy wasn't new to him. It was a facet of his performance identity that had been waiting for the right visual narrative. The bomber jacket moved differently when he walked with purpose. The denim carried weight when he shifted his stance. There was a shot, now widely circulated, where he stands slightly angled, hands resting near his pockets, gaze piercing but calm. The look alone felt like an album cover from a reimagined 90s era. Behind the scenes, the dedication remained visible. He studied how the jacket draped when zipped versus half open. He experimented with subtle shoulder rolls to emphasize structure. He adjusted the waistband positioning of the jeans to maintain clean lines without disrupting natural flow. Rock energy requires effortlessness, but achieving effortlessness requires work. Lighting played a crucial role in amplifying the aesthetic. Soft shadows highlighted the bomber's contours, warm undertones in the set design contrasted against the cool blue of the denim. Every visual element was intentional. Yet none of it would have resonated without Jungkook's embodiment of the concept. There's something magnetic about watching an artist step into an era's spirit without losing individuality. He wasn't cosplaying 90s rock culture, he was reinterpreting it through a contemporary lens. The straight-leg jeans deserve their own spotlight. Fashion cycles often romanticize the 90s but rarely capture its simplicity authentically. These jeans did exactly that. Clean hemline, balanced fit, subtle taper that didn't constrict movement. When Jungkook shifted his weight from one leg to the other, the denim followed naturally, creating a rhythm that felt almost musical. The bomber jacket's graphic elements subtly nodded to vintage rebellion, not loud logos but artful detailing that suggested history. It felt curated, not cluttered. As images continued to circulate globally, fans began recreating the look. Straight-leg denim searches surged, bomber jackets reappeared in trend forecasts. Calvin Klein stores reportedly experienced heightened interest in 90s-inspired pieces. This wasn't just influence. It was cultural ignition. What made the campaign especially compelling was its restraint. No elaborate stage setups, no excessive layering, just strong pieces styled with clarity. Jungkook stood as the focal point, not overshadowed by production. In interviews surrounding the launch, creative collaborators hinted at the desire to strip rock back to its core, not the glam rock excess, not the dramatic theatrics, but the essence, confidence, independence, and raw charisma. Jungkook delivered that essence in every frame. There's a specific still from the campaign that continues to dominate fan edits. He's mid-motion, bomber slightly lifted by movement, denim structured and sharp. His expression isn't smiling, it's focused. Intentional, it's the look of someone who understands that style is an extension of identity. The beauty of this campaign lies in its duality. It feels nostalgic yet progressive, familiar yet fresh, minimal yet impactful. Calvin Klein's history with denim is iconic. The brand has repeatedly defined generations through clean, bold campaigns. By introducing this rock-infused 90s revival through Jungkook, they didn't just revisit the past, they revitalized it. And Jungkook didn't simply model the pieces. He inhabited them. He moved like someone hearing a guitar riff only he could feel. He leaned into frames like stepping toward a crowd. He held stillness like a pause before a chorus drop. Classic rock energy is about authenticity. It's about refusing to dilute presence. In this campaign, authenticity radiated effortlessly. As conversations around the campaign continue to unfold, one thing remains clear: this wasn't a fleeting aesthetic experiment. It was a deliberate statement. Jungkook in a graphic bomber jacket and straight 90s jeans isn't just a fashion image. It's a visual anthem. A reminder that eras can collide beautifully. A testament that simplicity, when worn with conviction, becomes unforgettable. And under the Calvin Klein banner, that fusion of rock spirit and denim legacy feels not just stylish, but iconic.